Hello, I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Welcome to Day 9 of the World Ice Hockey Championships from Bern in Switzerland. We are live with Canada against the Soviet Union.
This is the last game of the first round for both of these teams. The Canadians have really been looking good. They're going into this one undefeated. The Soviets with one loss so far. A great crowd here for the Canadians.
Well, that Soviet loss, as we look at their team here, was against Sweden, the first time in 35 World Championship games. Some great goaltending from Irbe. Bjakin will be the backup. Fetisov, Kravchuk, Malakhov, Gusarov, Tatarinov, and Konstantinov. Excellent defensemen. Love to go forward too.
That's a very solid defense they've got. Certainly not hurting up front either.
Byakin is there with youngster Bure, Davidov, a hard worker, Nemchinov, one of the top scorers, along with Kamensky and Khomutov. Keep your eye on those three.
Of course, that Kamensky, Khomutov, Bykov line, that's the one that does a lot of damage. Hristich had a great game in his last outing. Feodorov, of course, very solid. Leonov playing very good at this point.
And, of course, Makarov is out there, number 24, over from Calgary. Great to see him in the lineup. Lots of support for the Canadians. They say they're number one. Right now they are, because they're undefeated. But keep your eye on the Soviets. They're going to be tough. The Canadians have Kirk McLean, Asenza in goal, McInnes, Lidser, Lesheshin, Green, Petit, and Coffey on the defense.
They've got a good mix of defense there. Coffey, of course, very offensive-minded, does a lot of work up front. He's like an extra forward on the ice. Greg Adams has played very well with Yzerman. Doing a good job, of course, is Rick Tocchet. Always working hard out there. The experience of Ron Sutter and Sean Burr's had a few very important goals for this Canadian team.
They've been hustling, and they've been putting it together. Bellows, who won the scoring leadership last year. Acton has been hot on the wing, and, of course, Fleury, Gilmore, and Cullen. Fleury, the 5'6" Calgary Flame star, really does team up well with Gilmore.
Fleury has a way of really pumping this team up.
The Canadians will be playing from right to left in the white jerseys. Artur Irbe getting the pat on the back and the words of encouragement from his fellow teammates. This is going to be a good one. Tikhonov, as always, looking so calm and cool, never gives anything away. He's been here before. He's seen it and done it, and so is this man. An excellent coach, Dave King, for the Canadians. Let's look at the standings up until this game. The Canadians are on top, still undefeated. The Soviets and the Swedes are there in second. The Czechs are looking good. The bottom four, USA, Finland, Norway, and West Germany. The West Germans are struggling right now. Could they go down to Pool B next year? We know the Swiss are coming up.
Relegation has got to be on the minds of the West Germans. They're beat up. They've had a lot of injuries. No points so far in the tournament. It's going to be rough for them.
All set now for the opening face-off. The crowd here, 11,000 plus, getting into this one right from the start. Icing the call. The Soviets get the first touch, and the face-off will be deep into Canada's territory. There's a good look at Konstantinov. Always physical, always in the right place at the right time.
The Canadians with a good outing against the Swedes. The Swedes, mind you, found the way to control the Soviet power. I wonder if the Canadians will do the same here.
Tipped in the corner to Kamensky. Kamensky falls over the back of the net. Konstantinov bats that one. It stays just inside the line. Kamensky can't pick it up. They try to get that one to the far corner. It goes all the way back to Konstantinov. And the Canadians now flip it out into the neutral zone and down the ice. Irbe coming back now. The Soviets on the attack. This is going to be fast. You're going to see some great passing out there. Konstantinov up on the wing to Kamensky for the Soviet Union. Semak has just jumped on the ice. You're going to see some quick changes too. The wrap around again. Kamensky can't get it away, and the Canadians flip it over to the open wing. The Soviets are there first. Some work along the boards by Canada as the Soviets, with Nemchinov and Canada's Yzerman mix it up a little, force the face-off.
Both of these teams have a lot of depth on that bench. They're going to change the lines very quickly tonight. 3 to 4 line hockey.
25-year-old Yzerman with the Red Wings in the National Hockey League. The top point getter right now in this tournament. And now the Soviets, a 1-on-2 break, taken out nicely by McCoon for Canada. Leonov up on that wing, really works hard with Hristich and Makarov. The Canadians, McCoon backhanding it into the neutral zone. Nemchinov spun out of the play. Adams for Canada. Up on the wing, Adams getting away from his check. Still it's Adams working in the corner. Adams doing a great job. The shot coming right on Irbe, and he makes a save, and it's pushed away. Some good stuff there as Tatarinov takes the long shot. Going back for it, McInnes for Canada. McInnes getting it up to Craven. McInnes didn't get that one. Bure tried to put the stick in there but failed. Kravchuk gets it over to the far side. The Soviets with 3 men forward, 4 men forward now. Right behind the net, that's right in front. It took a bounce, ended up behind the net. Feodorov scooted around to Pavel Bure. Falls under his own steam there. Petit doing a great job on the youngster from the Soviet Union. Still has that puck, pushes it along the boards. The Soviets now with 2 men, the shot right in front. Byakin got a piece of that. Essensa made the save.
Michel Petit doing a great job of harassing Bure, but he really worked hard and got that puck out to Byakin in front of the goal.
Makarov kicks that back to the defense, and the Soviets now. Feodorov working over the line. He's got Davidov. Davidov picks it up right around the goal, waiting for reinforcements. There's a delayed penalty on the play. It's going to go against Canada. You can see Kravchuk picking himself up slowly. Play continues. Konstantinov takes the shot. That's kicked away. The rebound off the boards. Feodorov got a touch on it. Some great action around the Canadian net. Makarov nursing that shiner on his left eye there. Looking relaxed after a long season in the NHL.
There you see Murray Craven going in with a big slash on Makarov right there. As the play continued down the ice, it was Doug Gilmour who created the offense.
There's the infraction there. These pictures coming to you from Switzerland. Hristich loses out on the draw as the Canadians try to get this one away. Malakhov, the shot from the Soviets. Makarov on this wing. Power play situation for the next 2 minutes. Malakhov on this side, Konstantinov back, the shot coming right out goal. Lidster try to get a handle on that. Davidov. Konstantinov is back on the point. And the Soviets there with Hristich going now with their 4th line, if you want to call it that. Just over 4 minutes gone in the period. Makarov getting it back to number 4, Malakhov, the shot. Right on the target. Action all around the net here with that man advantage. Some rough stuff from both teams.
Good work by Doug Lidster. He's got Hristich all tied up in front of that goal. Davidov hanging onto the puck. working it back slowly to the point. McLean did a good job of taking the angle away.
110 on the penalty. Acton gets that all the way back, and the Canadians now will fire that down the ice to kill off this 2-minute penalty. Under a minute, Tocchet goes after his man, but he's outskated. Bellows shadows his man on the far side. Bellows can't get that one. He skates right over it. Tatarinov gets it over to the far side. Fetisov get it around. Khomutov took the shot. That took a rebound off a defenseman. Tocchet to Tatarinov. Everybody out there playing defensive hockey for Canada. Khomutov got it in. Circles right in front now. Bykov is there trying to get it out. The Canadians tipping it out now when the break is on. Bellows for Canada. Taken out of the play nicely by Bykov. 20 seconds remaining on the penalty. Kamensky drops it back. The Canadians still under pressure. That takes a deflection. Goes all the way down the ice.
You can hear the crowd react when McInnes belted Kamensky into the boards as he left that drop pass.
Fetisov loses it to Yzerman. Yzerman takes the shot. The rebound is there. Adams couldn't get the shot away. Khomutov, he takes the shot. Both goaltenders looking strong here as Yzerman drops it up. Adams getting round to Tatarinov right in front. The shot comes and it's wide. The Canadians now have a go at the Soviet net. All the way into the zone. Offside is the call.
Greg Adams with that long reach. That's twice he's gotten around the Soviet defense early. Really working hard there. Set up Murray Craven for a good opportunity. Irbe came up big with that save.
Tikhonov talking to the players on the bench. Here in the early stages of this first period. Lidster for Canada. Coffey gets it back. Pushed out slowly into the neutral zone. Yzerman goes after it, being shadowed by Semak. Adams is right in front. Leonov trying to push that one through. Nemchinov spun out of the play by Coffey. Craven for Canada, looking for Adams. The Canadians happy to dump it into the zone. Craven picks it up, gets it right in front. Good defensive move there by Gusarov. Kravchuk getting it forward, right on the line. The Soviets breaking right in on goal. Can't get the shot away, and the Canadians overskate it. Fleury puts the little fake on as that comes out into the neutral zone. The long shot coming from Kravchuk, missing the target, and the Canadians now with Lescheshin out there. To the far side, Byakin takes a swipe at it. The Soviets keep it in, a delayed offside. Richard Green to Lescheshin. Lescheshin for Canada, loses his feet out there. The Soviets working in. Byakin gets it over, intended for Pavel Bure, and that bounced over his skate and his stick. And the Canadians coming back. Fleury working in. Still it's Fleury. There's going to be a penalty on the play. This time it's going against the Soviets.
You can see the response here. Just sort of a blank look from Malakhov. That's not a brilliant call by the referee, I'm sorry to say. Watch Fleury, he's on the fly here. Puts a puck from his backhand, a little dump through the defense. He's on the run, back to his forehand. Watch what happens here. A little bit of a whack, but he really was putting it on there.
Well, Fleury is the kind of guy that encourages penalties. He takes people on, he goes right at them, and sometimes there's no option but to bring him down.
He's so energetic and he bounces around so much out there. He really makes a lot of things happen, such as people getting into penalty situations here.
Malakhov shaking his head. The Canadians with a power play now for 2 minutes as Adams gets it back to Coffey. He flips it into the corner. Bellows is there. looking for Iserman. Shot all the way down the ice. Going back for it is Alan McInnes. Coming up to the 8-minute mark in the first period. No score. McInnes again. Pushing it up to the Canadian forward, Iserman. Iserman working in now. Iserman takes a shot, the rebound. Irbe comes up with a great couple of saves there. Coffey has to go back deep in his own zone. He's got McInnes trailing and he picks it up now.
Iserman's so effective with that lateral movement of his. He can stop and go to the side so quickly.
Adams goes after this. Irbe came way out of his net. Tipped that the wrong way. The Canadians have it behind the net. Kravchuk to Fetisov. Fetisov now along the boards, going after Khomutov. McInnes will get there first. 48 seconds remaining on the penalty to Malakhov. Cullen got it to the far side. The return pass to Craven. Craven working in alone, whistles that one around the boards to the far side, and the Soviets dump it out again.
Good job by the Soviet defense behind their own goal to get the puck out.
Approaching the 9-minute mark, the Canadians with Tocchet taking off the puck. Some good stuff by the Soviets. 20 seconds on the penalty. McCoon for Canada. Up on the wing, the Canadians quickly shoot it in. Irbe pushes that one forward to Gusarov. A nice pass by him to Khomutov. The slow ragging of the puck. Eventually they dump it into the zone, and the Soviets are back at full strength.
Aside from that one individual effort by Iserman, they really didn't get much on the power play.
Leonov to Nemchinov. The return pass. Nemchinov now for the Soviets going in. That hit a skate. Eventually ended up in the corner. Sean Bure puts that behind the net. The return pass to the far side, and the Canadians are out of their zone. Cullen for Canada into the corner. That took a deflection off a skate. Malakhov handed that one off now. Semak. The backhand pass to Leonov. And Leonov was taken right out of the play by Michel Petit. Konstantinov now for the Soviets. Some nice moves there. The back pass didn't come off and goes all the way down for Green. Green, who spent 13 years with the Canadians in the past year playing outdoor hockey in Modano, Italy, is out there. All his experience. Gilmore chasing that along with Fleury. Green. Lidster getting that one up and then gets it back again. Both teams changing quickly on the fly here. Tatarinov for the Soviets. A long pass to Feodorov. A shot way wide of the target. Tocchet goes after it. Tocchet for Canada. A rink wide pass, and the Canadians with 4 players up. Tocchet breaks right in front. Bure slid across. That ends up back at the point. The Canadians with Coffey take a shot, working right in. They score! Sutter from beside the net. Well, how did that one go in? An impossible angle. Coffey set it up from way back at the point, and Sutter was there.
Heads up pass from Coffey here. He lays it down low. There's Ron Sutter. He's all by himself. The other 2 Canadian forwards each have a man. It's too late for the other defenseman to come across. Somehow he does find it behind the goaltender there as he shoots from the near side and finds that far corner. Irbe seemed to have him here. Great shot by Sutter.
Well, it seems he put that just off the heel of the stick. And Irbe looking at the defenseman as if to say, how did that go in?
It stands no matter what. That line came out really flying. That's a Philadelphia Flyer trio out there with Craven, Tocchet, and Sutter.
Canadians get the first goal of the game. Kravchuk to the far side. Tocchet shadows. McInnes takes his man out. The puck still lying there loose in the neutral zone. Davidov, always the head fake, the shoulder fake. That time, just one too many moves from the youngster. Tocchet Still Tocchet, the shot. Canadians again shooting right on the target there. McInnes getting a piece of that. Davidov for the Soviets, dropping that off to Kravchuk. He takes the shot. The whistle blows rather quickly as the Canadians get the touch. And Olsen works his way over to the timekeeper to spell out a penalty.
As soon as that puck hit McLean, the whistle was blown. Tocchet's going to go 2 minutes for high sticking.
Well, in the '89 World Championships, it was the Soviets over the Canadians 4-3 and 5-3. They slaughtered them in the Izvestia tournament last year, 8-0. But they figure the Swedes beat the Soviets and the Canadians beat the Swedes, so surely the Canadians can beat the Soviets.
The team that played in the Izvestia tournament certainly wasn't a true reflection of the Canadian team that you're seeing out here today.
Well, of course not. The NHL players were right smack in the middle of their season, so they really couldn't make that tournament. The Soviets, of course, were without several players too. They were also in the NHL.
This is true, but this team that's been put together here is a total mix of a lot of different teams, and it's a much stronger team than represented Canada in the Izvestia tournament.
No problem. He's holding, he's going back, okay?
Tocchet seems to have been a thumb back, or his wrist or something was whacked. He's got ice on his hand in the penalty box over there.
Lidster got that to Acton, but he couldn't get it out of the zone. The Soviets with a 2-minute power play, putting on the pressure from behind the net as they do. Tatarinov on this side, Fetisov on the other. Tatarinov tees it up, one times it, a weak shot wide of the net. Bykov is going in with Kamensky.
Doug Gilmour and Keith Acton doing a good job staying high in that box while the point men had the puck, making it difficult for him to get the big shot off or use each other with a pass.
Coming back to Tatarinov. A backhand pass along to the side. Tatarinov gets a wrist shot away as he got the pass back from Khomutov. Clean makes a save for Canada.
Tatarinov has a nice quick wrist shot. Another look at Tocchet. He's gone beyond a handful of ice. He's got a bucket of ice out there now.
Well, we can assure you he's not reaching for a cold one. He's got his hand in there along with the pucks that are kept frozen throughout.
He might be trying to pick a puck out there that he wants a goal with.
Well, in the championships, we'll take a look at that later. As we approach the 13-minute mark, the Canadians with 1:10 on the penalty. The Soviets coming down now with Bykov. This is the first time these teams have met. Clean kicks Fetisov shot away in this tournament this year. Fetisov, poke check there, and the Canadians now coming back. Gilmour getting that across. Pass slightly took a brush off a stick. Bykov still working his way in. Bykov trying to get the return pass. The shot coming there from Kamensky. And again, the Canadians doing a great job of killing this one off as Archer Irbe had to get it out of the zone. Tatarinov gives that one away. The shot coming from a sharp angle. Bellows was there for Canada. The Canadians making some quick changes with Bellows and Yzerman out. Tip forward. Malakhov kicks that ahead as he lost his stick. 4 seconds to the Canadian penalty. Some good stuff now, breaking in. Yzerman again, takes a shot. Irbe comes up with the save. That's twice.
Excellent stuff in the neutral zone. Semak not able to handle that puck. It was stripped away. Quick pass moved up to Yzerman. He was gone. There you see Yzerman walking in. Irbe has come out a little, settling himself back. Goes down a little bit early, but stands his ground. Yzerman not able to get the puck over him. There you see it again from behind the net. Yzerman coming in. I think he wanted that top corner. He looked to flip it up there and just didn't get enough of it.
Some great goaltending from Irbe as the Canadians rise to the occasion here. A lot of support. Flags, t-shirts, the whole bit. Craven taken out of the play. Feodorov looking for Byakin. Intercepted there. Pushed through by the Soviets. Pavel Bure. An easy one for McLean to handle, as it was high right into the glove, and they'll call for a face-off.
As long as the Canadian defense can keep those Soviet forwards going wide, making them shoot long, McLean will not complain.
So the Soviets were first in the World Championships last year. They won this year over Norway, West Germany, USA, Finland, and not surprised, Sweden lost to Sweden, but then back on the winning trail against Czechoslovakia. The shot coming from Kravchuk, an easy one for McLean to kick away. Kravchuk. You can see they're doing the wave. That took a deflection off Adam's stick. Intended for the net, just went a bit wide. Coffey got a piece of that one. Irbe lost it totally. Pavel Bure. Bure coming up now. Stick handling, trying to get it through. McLean gets to it first, but he still goes after the puck. Eventually squeezed out of the play by Lidster. Some physical stuff, and the referee has his hand in the air. It's going against Canada. The Canadians trying to touch this one. Bure is signaling he's got it. Why should the whistle blow? And the Canadians will find themselves with a man in the penalty box.
Bure on the left side, trying to cut into the middle. Lidster has a good piece of him here. Pushes him just by the net, but he's still got a good grip on him. Takes him all the way into the boards that way. Referee was in the corner, calls it holding. Very easily molesting, holding, anything you want to call that one.
Grievous bodily harm, maybe more appropriate. He picked him way off the ice. And just like Fleury, Pavel Bure is one who attracts penalties. He's a guy who goes for it, never stops skating. The Soviets 0 for 2 on the power play. 1-0 the score.
2 minutes penalty to Canada's number 3, John Lidster, for holding. And 2 minutes penalty to
Well, they've just thrown Fetisov in the box for interference, something that was totally unrelated to that play. So no longer a power play for the Soviets. McInnes, both teams with a man short. Working right in, a slap shot. Fleury got a piece of that.
The referee was focused into the corner. The whole play had happened in the corner. Fetisov had come in from the blue line, created some havoc in front of that goal. On his way toward the penalty box, the referee obviously caught that. Fetisov goes 2 for an interference call. You don't usually expect something like that from a veteran like Fetisov. I'm sure Tikhonov's not overly pleased with that. He wants those power plays.
Craven, McCoon flips it in. Craven takes his man out heavily. The Soviets now breaking hard. Makarov. Oh, a nice little pass by him, trying to set up Gusarov. Gusarov is knocked to the ice, and we have another whistle on the play. McCoon looks back and can't believe it. Well, I think the reaction from this crowd says it all. If you're a Canadian supporter, a gentle little touch there by McCoon brings Gusarov to the ice.
2 minutes penalty to Canada's number 34, James Bykov.
McCoon having a word with Olsen, the official, on that one. Cross-checking is the call, and it was the cross-checking position with both hands on the stick, but really for my money, was nothing serious.
The Soviet player was cutting against the grain there. The two hands were on him. Like you said, it wasn't overly hard, but the referee was behind the play once again. He couldn't see the severity of that.
So the Canadians with a man down. It's so easy to criticize these officials, but it's one heck of a difficult job when you're out there trying to officiate with over 11,000 people yelling into your ear, not to mention the guys on the ice. Kamensky, who's got that wicked shot, that's right in front. Bykov couldn't get that one away, muscles along the boards. The Soviets keep it in. Khomutov looking for the return pass there. Khomutov on the circle, now gets it. Taking his time as he gets it back to Kamensky. Kamensky has got that boomer from way back there. Malakhov takes the shot. Bykov is dragged down by Green. The fake shot there by Kamensky, and he's brought to the ice. Bykov couldn't contain that one as it's whistled right by him. Malakhov takes the shot. Clean makes the save. A lot of chopping on Khomutov in front of the net.
Good job by the Canadians in this 4-on-3 situation. Doug Gilmour did very well. Kamensky put a nice move on him. He managed to get back and get a piece of him. The three of them were rotating very nicely out there. Rick Green, McInnes, and of course Doug Gilmour was up front on most of that.
Lidster with McCoon there. Lidster getting set to jump back on the ice. Under 3 minutes now remaining in the period. 7 seconds to Lidster. McCoon will sit it out for another 54. Fetisov also has 7. Green for Canada. Good little move by him as he gets it as far as Acton. So both the Canadians and the Soviets throw a man on the ice from the penalty box. Still McCoon in there. Bykov breaking towards the top of the circle. The pass didn't come. 25 seconds on the penalty. Khomutov shot that in. Lidster picked it up. Gets that all the way along the boards and all the way down the ice. 10 seconds on the penalty, coming up to the 2-minute mark in the period. The Canadians forechecking right at center. Some good stuff there. Not a particularly brilliant pass. Working his way in now is Bellows. Oh, and a good poke check, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. Tripping is the call. Bellows gets a wink from Coffey.
That's good hard work from Brian Bellows. There you see, he really worked hard and picked up that errant, broken down play that happened just inside the blue line. Makes his move. Defenseman's late getting back. Irbe's got the stick out for him. He goes flying over the top. The Russians will sit too for tripping on this call. There you see the replay again. Not much else that Tatarinov could do in that situation.
Well, it looked too like he got a skate in the face for his troubles. Some repair work being done on the bench, and taking his place in the penalty box is number 31, Igor Leonov. But Tatarinov is getting some quick repairs to his face from the skate of Bellows. Bellows still out there. McInnes back on the defense, getting set for this all-important face-off as this period draws to a close. Coffey. Coffey now picking it up a gear as he takes it over the red line, over the blue line. Too many players in front of him there as he went over the blue line.
You can see Tatarinov on the bench. If he needs stitches, that's no problem. They'll do it in the dressing room between periods. In ice hockey, unlike some other sports, you keep on playing no matter what.
McInnes, as we approach the 1:30 mark here, 1:30 left. The shot over the target, flipped out. Adams in there, they kept it in, right in front. Adams couldn't get that one away. The shot now batted down behind the net. Nemchinov will pick it up and bring it out, passing it over to Semak. Semak dumping that one forward. The Soviets putting a little pressure on now. Another whistle on the play. And Coffey has words with Olsen as he skates to the penalty box. Let's take a look at this one. Coffey going up against number 12 there, Nemchinov. Again, I'm not too sure about that. Bopes, you're shaking your head.
That's questionable. Coffey doesn't agree with it, that's for sure. He did get the stick in there. It might have been just enough to throw Nemchinov off stride. He went down, the referee fell for it.
So while Coffey is in there, his penalty will go into the next period because there's 1 minute to go. And of course it's a 2-minute penalty. Shot! Fleury got that right off his pad. Managed to get the shot away, but missed the net. Fleury, always dangerous. Still Fleury being held from behind. Play continues with the Soviets now, coming up to 30 seconds. Some good defensive work there. And the Canadians. Tocchet taking that shot right on Irbe. Time ticking away. The Soviets breaking fast, coming down. Pavel Bure on the backhand side. Bure to the top of the circle, gets the shot away. 8 seconds as Fetisov works out of the corner, brought to the ice. Makarov can't contain that. That goes all the way back to the point, and the Canadians bring it out as the whistle blows. Well, some great stuff from both teams. The Canadians are in the lead, 1-0 with that goal from Sutter. The pass from Coffey.
Good action. The Canadians and the Russians both doing an excellent job of skating out there.
Well, we're going to take a break right now. We got lots more action to come. Remember, we're live in Bern, Switzerland. Join us in a moment. We'll be right back for the second period after this break.
Liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, wir möchten Sie darauf hinweisen, dass im Anschluss
Bern, Switzerland. The teams are taking a break now. It's Canada 1, the USSR 0 after 20 minutes of play. Well, we're going to take a break here while the teams are in the dressing room, and we're going to take a look at the highlights from Canada against Sweden. A game played earlier on between Canada and Sweden. The final score 3-1 for Canada here in Bern, Switzerland. After one period, it's Canada 1, the Soviet Union 0. Join us in a moment for the start of the second period. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bern, Switzerland for the World Ice Hockey Championships. The Soviet Union against Canada. The Canadians leading by 1 on that goal from Sutter. Leonov still in the penalty box, sitting it out for Tatarinov, who got a skate in the face and had to get some repairs on the bench. Confirmation there of the score, and both teams have had some good chances. Yzerman has been close on several occasions.
Both teams had some good chances in that first period. It was good end-to-end action, not overly aggressive, but good man-to-man coverage, and some good stuff going both ways.
Coffey for Canada also in the box. And the big question is, will the referee, Olsen, let things go this period? He really has been calling it close. And at this level, at this stage in the World Championships, you really do want to see a hockey game. I'm not saying that you don't call a penalty when it's a penalty, but Look at it twice. The Canadians with 58 seconds on the penalty. The Soviets ending in about 2. The Canadians now playing from left to right with Lidster, backhanding that along the boards. The Soviets back at full strength, keeping it in the zone. A power play for them. McCoon with Sutter. Tocchet setting it up, the shot. Right in the slot now. The Soviets passing it around nicely. Konstantinov getting the return pass, and that's out of reach as Bykov puts it back. Khomutov, a little pass. Kamensky picks that one up, looks for his man Konstantinov. Konstantinov gets a bit of a break there and can't get the shot away. Sutter gives him a bit of a slash on the play, and he's going to go to the penalty box.
There you can see Konstantinov trying to get a shot off. Sutter's beaten by a step or two. Comes back into the play. Going for Konstantinov's stick here. Gets a good whack on his arm, though. The referee calls this one as he sees it.
Well, the right arm just dangling down. He's shaking that one off, and right away he gets back into play despite the injury. And he knows that the Canadians now are going to have 2 men in the box. An excellent crowd here in Bern, Switzerland.
How can you find that fucking out there? All he's done all game is kill fucking penalties.
Well, you can hear the Canadian reaction. I'll leave out 1 or 2 of the words, but they said, how can you play a game when you're trying to kill penalties?
John Cullen is going to set this one out for Sutter. Some kind of a problem with Sutter. We'll wait for an update on that one as he's on the bench doing something with his skate here. Quite possibly could have lost an edge. They're checking the blade over.
So the Canadians now down to 3 skaters. Khomutov for the Soviet Union loses out on that one. Some very relaxed play from them. The Canadians shoot it down, and Fetisov, 32-year-old veteran, puts that right out front, and on a particularly good pass from him, and Bykov comes to the rescue. That's a giveaway. Acton there couldn't get the shot. Kamensky now running into problems, but Fetisov keeps it in the zone. Bykov turning, waiting for the opportunity as he gives it down to Kamensky. The shot wide of the far post. That one whistles all the way down. Khomutov. Semak. Doesn't quite go to him, but it does go to Fetisov. Fetisov. A collision there right on the blue line as Kamensky is brought down. No real penetration so far on this power play effort. The Canadians with still 1 man in the box. Fetisov. Some sloppy play as Bellows picks it up. He's got Craven right in front. Bellows still has it. Still it's Bellows ragging the puck. Taken off him, but Craven goes after his man behind the net. Fetisov now on the hash marks. Fetisov to the far side. The pass goes batted back to the defense. The Soviets do some good work to avoid the offside, but Fetisov has to go deep into his own territory to pick it up.
Soviets are scrambling here. Uncharacteristic of them, they look very sloppy and very nonchalant.
Nemchinov couldn't hold on to that pass, so he starts it over again. Canadians back at full strength. Some good stuff by them, killing this one off. Really no effort by the Soviets. Craven. Cullen is right in front of the net. Kravchuk took a swipe there. The Canadians keep it in the zone and get it into the side. Fleury has that poked off his stick, and McInnes goes all the way back for it. McInnes for Canada. A long pass right up the middle. The Canadians going in the backhand side. Craven. Yzerman. Gusarov all the way up on the wing. McInnes to the far side. Adams will chase this one as Gusarov goes back. Yzerman is there to shadow. Fleury hammers his man into the boards. Batted back behind the net. Gusarov. Feodorov for the Soviet Union. A lot of pressure in the Soviet Union zone. The long shot there coming from Fleury. Irbe, again the shot from way back, goes wide of the target, and the race now is on. Pavel Bure, the shot there by McCoon, the backhand right into the crowd. Some good action from Canada. They've missed so many chances as we take a look at repairs on the bench.
That's Ron Sutter. Quite possibly his toes have cramped up. They're getting ice on it. He may have taken a shot with a stick, or maybe a shot with a puck. Trying to keep swelling off his foot. He's obviously in a little bit of pain. They're bringing out another pair of skates for him as well.
The Canadians pick that one off, the face-off, flip it into the zone. Malakhov. Makarov can't reach that one. Konstantinov having problems. Sean Bure in there. Some good stuff now from Gilmore. Gilmore looking for Bure. Makarov flips that behind the net. So another face-off deep in the Soviet zone. 1-0 the score. Canada over the Soviet Union here in the second period.
Coach Tatarinov is about 3 inches away from that visor. He's really barking out some instructions here. He's not impressed with the Soviets. They've come out really flat in the second period, giving the puck away, very loose play in their own zone. This will not impress this coach.
One of the most successful coaches in the history of the game. Really does eat, sleep, breathe hockey. Craven loses out there. Malakhov slams on the brakes and goes the other way. That bounces off Craven's skate, goes into the zone, and the Soviets now. Konstantinov taken off the play by Tocchet. Hristich going after him is Cullen. 5-10 gone as Tocchet missed that one. Konstantinov goes all the way deep for it. Tocchet misses him. Cullen goes after and picks it up, trying to get it to Tocchet. That one didn't come off, and the Soviets have that one go all the way down the ice. Coffey gets the touch for icing.
The Canadians are very aggressive on the forecheck. Good evidence of just how flustered the Soviets really are as they're forced to just ice that puck. It's not very often you'll see the Soviets do that. The crowd, of course, responding to that. They're getting boos out there.
"1-0 the score, 5:29 gone in the second period. This is live on Eurosport. Yzerman gets it back too far for McInnes to put a stick on it. McInnes, the return pass. Up on the wing to Bellows. Irbe lost that one for a second. Bellows goes back in. The Soviets, Kamensky getting it up. Bykov, Khomutov, a shot. Bykov, Khomutov, and Kamensky buzzing all around. They never stop skating. The number one line right now for the Soviets. Adams working his way up now. The delayed offside on the plate. You can see the official's arm up in the air. He brings it down. The Soviets bring it forward. Khomutov shovels that one into Kamensky. Good move there by Green to break that up. McInnes goes after Khomutov. Bykov picks it up. Bykov now working his way in. Bykov still has it. Batted off his stick at the last moment by Green. Bykov again skates over it. The Canadians bring it up with Yzerman at center. Yzerman, the return pass. Yzerman takes a shot. And again, he loses out. Leonov over the blue line. Stopped on the play by McInnes. Bellows for Canada. Loses that one in the circle, and the Soviets now return the favor. Going back down on goal. Offside, gotta be. The Soviet player miles offside on the plate.
Well, Jim McCoon helped him go offside by really bodying him right at the blue line. The play is fast and it's quick out there.
Well, it's tense, it's exciting, and it's getting to everyone.
A slight display of nerves and emotion there.
McCoon getting that into the neutral zone. Leonov tips that one in. The Canadians very physical in front of the net. Gusarov looking for someone to pass to in front of the net. Nemchinov goes after it. Bure is all over him. And that comes all the way back to the defense. Gusarov. The backhand pass. And a lot of passes from the Soviets in this period are going all over the place. Kravchuk got the shot away, but the whistle blew. And it's uncharacteristic of the Soviets to be making these backhanded passes onto an open wing or to a player when he's already gone by. Usually we see precision, pinpoint passing from the Soviets. As you can see, we have a full house here in Bern, Switzerland for this one. This is the one they've been waiting for. Lidster got that one back, gets it right in front of the net, punches it forward, and it goes into the neutral zone. Malakhov. The return pass by him, not a good one. Fleury being shadowed by Feodorov. He gives it off. And the Canadians dumping it deep into their own zone for Lidster. Lidster for Canada. Up on the wing. Stopped along the boards. A giveaway there. Pavel Bure break in. Can't get the stick on it. This guy always goes towards the net. Konstantinov flips it in, puts the stick up. No penalty on the play, all the way back to the point, the slap shot. That took a deflection. And the Canadians get it out of the zone.
The Soviets with a little bit of offensive punch themselves there, really starting to put the pressure on the Canadians in their own end.
Feodorov looking for Pavel Bure, and he finds him. Bure bounces that off the Wirikoch, and that is a definite dive. Well, he gets the right reaction from the crowd. He was taken out of the play, but my lord, you don't go down like that. This is a play for Canada right in front. The Canadians there with a chance with Cullen. Sutter going after it now. Coffey was there, still trying to keep it in. Coffey gets it forward, a good effort by him. Cullen tried to hit Acton, taken out of the play, and the Soviets now coming back. A good spell here for both teams. Davidov against McInnes. McInnes still wrestles with him along there. Feodorov is in there, and McInnes comes up with a puck. Falls, but pushes that one forward. Acton breaking, looking for Sutter. It was behind him, and the Soviets pick it up and come back into the action. Working their way right in. Goal. They score! Hristich on the right wing levels the score. An incredible period of play, non-stop action.
We said it's fast and it's quick. End-to-end action here. Davidov with a brilliant pass here. Just slides that through. Hristich is in there. You can see McLean hasn't moved himself over yet. Hristich very quickly snaps that one behind him. Once again, you can see excellent pass from Davidov. Both defensemen starting to move in toward the middle. There's Hristich. McLean hasn't moved over yet. Nice goal.
Back to the live action. Tocchet got it in. The Canadians really have had a fine period. The Soviets at times have been stumbling, but they came up with a goal when they needed it. Kamensky being shadowed there by Tocchet. Gets it up on the wing. And this line of Khomutov, Kamensky, and Bykov have been aggressive. Lidster got to that one first before Bykov. Icing will be the call.
Both teams really opening up the ice. Good end-to-end action. You see Craven going in hard with Kravchuk. Within 5 seconds of that play happening, the long pass was on, and it was Lidster getting the touch for icing way down at the other end.
1-1 the score midway through the second period. Some great action. The Canadians with the weak shot from the point, intercepted there by Gusarov. Getting it up now, Kamensky dropping it back to Gusarov. Gusarov walking his way around that net. Canadians eventually shooting that down. Took a long time to pick him up, but eventually they did the job. Gusarov again having problems with Tocchet. Gusarov for the Soviets. The long pass as the Canadians change on the fly. Bykov still out there. Bykov with Kamensky. Bykov dropped to the ice by McInnes. A good move by him. And now the Canadians. Yzerman dipping that one forward to Adams. Brought into the zone by the Soviets, and McInnes picks it up at the other end. Nemchinov goes after McInnes. The long pass too far for anyone. Malakhov for the Soviets goes back and gets the touch. Another icing call.
Both teams on the change there. Adams and Yzerman had come out. The Soviets were in the middle of a change. Good attempt for the long pass, just too far.
Well, the Canadians, second in last year's World Championships, beat the West Germans, the Americans, the Finns, the Norwegians, the Czechs, and the Swedes. So they're top of the table, number one right now. Capacity crowd here in Bern, Switzerland. Getting a chance to see the two best teams in the world fight it out. Konstantinov. McLean hangs on to that, gives it to Coffey. Coffey bellows. The pass to Adams is behind him. He's got to come all the way back. And they got to start all over again. Adams into the center. Coffey takes a shot. That took a deflection off Malakhov. Bellows looking for Yzerman. Leonov. Still Leonov getting it behind the net with Malakhov. Nemchinov bangs that one off the boards to the far side. Leonov can't get it out of the zone. Coffey trying to keep it in. Eventually it comes out and the Soviets break now. Nemchinov going in from a sharp angle. McLean makes the pad save and hangs on to it for a face-off.
McLean was set for that shot, kept the pads together, held on as Semak was camped out in front waiting for that rebound. Both teams are changing very quickly here as the action really hasn't slowed up that much. A good pace here, the crowd really enjoying it.
Still a 1-1 game here. Bjakin getting set for this face-off with that familiar hunched over style of his. So aggressive, so tough in the corners. Fleury couldn't get that one away, and the Canadians break now with Fleury. Fleury over the blue line. Fleury takes the shot. Oh, that took a deflection wide. The net was dislodged for a moment, but the Soviets come up with Feodorov. Feodorov skating slowly over the blue line. He's out there with Pavel Bure, and he gives it to him. Bure goes after him. Feodorov picks it up. gives it to Tatarinov. He takes a shot, he scores! From way back at the point, Tatarinov let go a rocket to make it 2 for the Soviet Union.
That's why Tatarinov is in the top 5 or 6 in scoring in this tournament. He's done a great job of getting quick shots away from the point. That's a bullet right there, and that beats McLean. The Canadians very guilty here of chasing around and not playing position hockey. He's wide open out at the blue line. There you see it again. Big shot. Drives that one into the net. A nice goal.
He wants the world to know that he's just scored for the Soviet Union. The Dynamo Moscow star. And now at the other end, the Canadians take a shot. Davidov, shadowed by Craven and Tocchet. The long pass up the center, broken up at the defense, and all the way back to Artur Irbe. As far as the red line, and the Soviets flip it in. The Canadians looking for that long pass, decide to go with the short one to Sutter. Sutter breaking now, gets the return pass. Offside is the call.
Offside.
13:25 gone in the second period. 2-1 now the score.
Right at the point when you think the Soviets are flat, they're not doing much out there, that they can just pick it up a gear. They've scored 2 beautiful goals in this period, and they've got themselves not just back in the game, but they're in the lead now.
Well, Dave King knows that it is a long, long way to the end of the game, so I'm sure he's not too worried, but he will be concerned. Bykov ended up in the corner. Coffey brings it out, gives it to Yzerman. Bellows winds up, takes the shot. The far side. Lidster will go back for that one. Pushed out to Kamensky. Kamensky gives that one away to Coffey. Coffey looking for someone to pass to. He's got Bellows and Yzerman behind the net. Still kept in. Adams spins around, taken off the play nicely, and the Soviets come back. Kamensky is Khomutov. The shot way wide, and Bellows will pick it up with Yzerman. Yzerman now on the break. Yzerman getting around to Tatarinov. He shoots, he scores! This time he makes it a goal. He's missed so many chances throughout the game. Bellows set him up, and Yzerman makes no mistake as he levels it at 2.
Very quickly the Canadians tie this one up. The crowd loves it. Great work from Bellows and Yzerman. Bellows fed Yzerman. He's on his way around the defense, as he's done a couple times earlier in this game. This time Irbe goes down. Yzerman makes no mistake putting it over him. There you see Steve Yzerman. He's looking, his head is up. It's a 2-on-2. Bellows is there if he wanted to drop pass. The other Soviet defenseman slides over toward him, but it's Yzerman who beats this defenseman and flips the puck over Artur Irbe. Great goal. That's why Yzerman is number 1 in the scoring right now.
Watch the hand go down here to fend off Tatarinov. He doesn't need to do it. Tatarinov stays right with him right to the end, but it's too late. Well, a classic goal from Yzerman brings the Canadians level here in the second period as McInnes picks it up. The Canadians now breaking with 3. Fleury for Canada, pushing that one right back in. Fleury has a chance, and that hit the side of the net. Gilmore and Fleury combining nicely there to give Artur Irbe a little pressure. Leonov, that one goes off McInnes' skate. McCoon for Canada runs into trouble, falls on it with Nemchinov all over him. Leonov wants it. McCoon scoops it away. Gilmore has lost it, and it comes out to Gusarov. McInnes now. Fleury for Canada. With Sean Burr, still it's Fleury. Looking for McCoon. Right in front of the net. Fleury was there. Holding is going to be the call. And there's another guy who never stops skating, never stops working. A coach's dream.
Well, as we've said, it's good, hard, aggressive work that creates penalties. Fleury was all over the ice at both ends. There he is on the attack again, doing anything he can to get a shot at that puck.
Proof here that you don't have to be big to play in the NHL or at World Championship level. You just have to have a great big heart. Kravchuk here getting the grab on.
A player of Fleury's size is very difficult for a defenseman to handle a lot of times. The defensemen have got to bend way over. It makes it very difficult if a player like Fleury is small and very strong and stays low on that stick. Kravchuk had all kinds of problems with him there.
Power play now as Adams goes after Konstantinov. Kept in on his far side by Canada, but the Soviets now with Coffey back. The Soviets will rag this one, get it back into their own zone and try to kill off the penalty. Coffey for Canada. McInnes now. McInnes breaking on the wing, looking to set someone up on the far side. Adams is in front. Yzerman is there. Bellows taking his time on the hash marks. Yzerman. Adams right in front. McInnes now picks it up. Fakes the shot, puts it right in front, they shoot. And Yzerman was there. How did he get across to that one? Well, they're starting to mix it up in front of the net. You can see the reaction here from Irbe as he got right across on that one.
Nice heads-up pass from McInnes. Yzerman one-time that one. Irbe did a great job to come across that net. That was all reflex. That had goal written all over it. Great save by Artur Irbe. I don't know if he can understand him, but Bellows is even saying probably a good job there.
1:06 remaining on the penalty to Kravchuk, but there are more penalties on the play here. Yzerman goes over to the bench and gets a sip of water. You can hear the Canadians yelling 4-on-3. Bellows is going to sit it out for a couple.
There's a lot of action right there at the front of the net and to the side of the net as Irbe was making that save. The sticks came up a little and the players were really trying to hold each other off.
Coffey for Canada. Coffey. Adams working it right in, the shot. The rebound lying right in the crease, and the Soviets pick it up. Makarov going down on the wing, runs into the official, not too impressed with him, I'm sure, and he looks right at him. If looks could kill, that guy would be lying on the ice right now. He's trying to play hockey out there, and the officials got to do what they can to get out of the way.
Good look at the two Soviets in the box there. They're anxious, intense. You can see Konstantinov catching his wind. Very tiring out there. Very hard on the players when they're holding and grabbing and you're constantly getting a piece of somebody or boarding with people. It takes a lot out of you.
Bellows fires it all the way in. Gusarov gets the touch. Adams goes after him. A good move there by Gusarov as the Canadians go into their own zone, being shadowed there by Makarov. Yzerman waits for Coffey to come back onside. Yzerman now, an easy one for the goaltender, and that goes all the way down the ice. The Canadians working it in. The shot, they score! Well, who else could it be? Little Fleury got the touch right in front of the net, kept it along the ice. 3-2 for Canada. They're coming back in this one strong.
Bjorn Fleury is so quick out there. There you see the pass going in. That little flip move of his just flips it further over onto his forehand side and manages to get that puck past Gusarov and Artur Irbe. Great goal. Watch this again. There you see it. It's that little flip move of his. Flips a puck ahead of himself, then snaps a quick wrist shot off. Good stuff right through the legs of Artur Irbe.
So Fleury celebrates on that, and I'm sure Irbe will want to watch that one on the replay at some time. He'll have nightmares about that. Not a brilliant performance from him. Fleury got that one forward. Irbe is such a solid goaltender. Bykov. Gilmore doing some forechecking out there, and the Soviets now coming back strong. Working right in a goal. McLean makes a save. Fleury gets it away. Going after it is Fetisov. Gilmore dumped to the ice by Tatarinov. The Soviets buzzing around that net as McLean pushes that one out. Just a couple of seconds now remaining on the last penalties here. Both teams now at full strength. Going back for it. Craven wants it, picks it up. Bellows is out there. Bouncing all around, pushed into the corner. Bellows with Tocchet. McInnes takes a shot. Still it's Canada and Tocchet. Tocchet lobs that one back in. That took a deflection. And you can see the aggressive work there from Bellows as he takes the Soviet player Kravchuk right into the post.
Bellows head down, digging in, really going at it there for that rebound. Good try by Tocchet as he just directed that to the net. There's 4 people in front of the net. 2 Soviets, 2 Canadians. Anybody's puck. Irbe manages to come up with it.
Good save by the goaltender. Tough to maintain concentration. Look at the rough stuff in the background. The official missing that completely. Craven having a go. Sutter for Canada on the face-off. Just a minute now remaining in the period as Green gets it back to McInnes. McInnes, Green, the long shot off the plexi. Konstantinov spun out of the play by Craven. Sutter is in there, looking for it in his skates. He loses it, and Malakhov for the Soviet Union brings it out up on the right wing. The Soviets. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Some good work by McInnes. Green comes to the rescue as Nemchinov was taken out of the play. That one goes all the way down for Konstantinov. Icing will be the call, so they'll have the face-off deep in Canada territory. Sutter having words with Malakhov, speaking the international language of dirty looks.
That's all complimentary. Sutter was a little bit late, but just going hard for that puck, trying to get the icing call waved off.
Just a few seconds remaining here in the period. A very important face-off for the Soviets if they want to get a shot away. Feodorov losing out there to Gilmore. Still they've got the puck. The Soviets allowed to go right in front. They take the shot with Feodorov. Byakin puts his arms in the air to indicate a goal. Let's take a look at this again.
Play came around the net. The Canadian defenseman got twisted up there. Feodorov with a lot of time lays that backhander. It goes off the side of the post into the 2 bodies by the net. Lidster covering up the other forward. It goes onto the side of the goal. Watch this. There it is. Onto the 2 players that are by the side of the net, and it lays on the back of that netting.
And that's what Byakin saw. He saw the little bulge in the mesh there, and he put his arms up, but a bit premature.
He was on the other side of the net. The only problem was the puck was on the outside of the net. Byakin couldn't see that.
So the face-off again with Feodorov going against Gilmore. The Canadians with 5 seconds will try to muscle this along the boards. A good move there by Feodorov as he got it out. McInnes deflected it away. And there goes the buzzer to end the second period. Well, both teams scoring 2 goals. Hristich, Tatarinov for the Soviet Union, Yzerman and Bure for Canada.
The last 20 minutes should be outstanding. If it's any indication of the way this second period went, good period for both teams. A lot of action, a lot of shots on the goal, and we saw some excellent goals scored out there.
Well, we're going to take a break right now. Join us in a moment for more ice hockey action. Back to Bern, Switzerland for the World Ice Hockey Championships, Pool A, the Soviet Union against Canada. And what a game we have here. The Canadians lead 3-2 here as we get set for the third period. An excellent crowd, well over 11,000, enjoying every minute of it.
The crowd really trying to give their input to get this third period going. 20 minutes left to play, 1 goal between the teams. It's going to be a beautiful third period to watch.
Well, they're getting anxious, waiting for the teams to come out on the ice. They've both had their chances. Yzerman has missed a couple, but eventually got the second goal for Canada. The officials now coming out onto the ice as we look at the scoreline. 3-2 for Canada, but this one is far from over. Well, let's take a look at that goal from Canada. Fleury doing the damage. It looked like an innocent shot. He was right in the slot area. McInnes set him up. McLean, the goaltender, also got an assist on the play.
You're always taught, if you don't shoot, you'll never know. A quick shot here, that's all it took. Fleury really had a good move here. Just flip the puck over and let the quick shot go. Anything can happen when you shoot the puck. Artur Irbe just wasn't set for that shot at all. You can see his head up in the air. He knows he was wrong. 9 times out of 10, he probably would have had that shot. But it's the one time that he missed that counts here. The third goal for Canada.
So a good lesson there for youngsters just learning the game. Never be afraid to shoot the puck. That's what it's all about. The Soviets taking their positions along the bench. A lot of Canadian support here in Bern. You can see the signs, "Go Canada, go," the flags all over the place. This has been a great tournament throughout. We've seen some good action from all 8 teams that have participated, and there's still lots more ice hockey action to come here on Eurosport. We're going to follow this one right through until the end, till the final day. The medal round starts tomorrow. We know that the Canadians, the Swedes, the Czechs, and the Soviet Union will be fighting it out for gold, silver, and bronze.
Also important this game. The Canadians, of course, are 2 points ahead of the Russians at this point. A win for the Russians would tie the 2 teams on points. The Canadians do not want to lose here. They want to stay undefeated at the end of this first round.
Exactly. Psychologically, it means a lot. Head-to-head. Last year, the Soviets over the Canadians twice, 4-3 and 5-3. In the Izvestia tournament, not the same team that's here today, but the Soviets trounced the Canadians 8-0. And the Swedes beat the Soviets. The Canadians beat the Swedes. But this one is far from over, as I said. So we started off here in the third period. The Soviets playing from left to right. Craven getting a piece of that to send it into the zone. Craven still mixing it up. The shot whistles to the far side of the rink. Going after it as Khomutov. McLean gets it up to Tocchet. Craven. Malakhov now works his way into the slot. He's got men all over him. Sutter doing a great job. Coffee parks himself right in front of the net to pick up the stragglers. And the Soviets bring it back now. Kamensky taken out of the play, gives it off to Semak. Semak takes a shot wide of the net. The long pass right up the middle. The Canadians with Adams, Yzerman. Yzerman had that bounce off a skate. Fetisov got it up. McCoon out there with McInnes. McInnes pushing that one forward. Konstantinov headed that one off to Nemchinov. The shot right on the target. The rebound is up in the air. Semak goes after it, picks it up. Semak dropping it back to Khomutov. Flipped right in. That goes off a skate. That's right in front of the net. And that one ended up in the corner. Adams shoots it out and down the ice. Tatarinov will race for that one. Still the Soviets with the pressure on. Pavel Bure gets that one right across. Some good defensive work. Green in front of the net. So a good start here by the Soviets. Tikhonov checking out the personnel on the bench.
They picked their spot well on that line change. The puck was very quickly headman. Pavel Bure had just stepped on the ice. They were on the move. The Canadians were in the middle of the line change.
Byakin and Bure playing a little cat and mouse out there. Neither one wants to give anything away. Kravchuk has that one, flips it forward. And Feodorov dropping that one back. Took a long time to pick up by Kravchuk. Took a deflection. The Soviets with Byakin. Ilya Byakin now gets the pass out front, intercepted and cleared out of the zone as Kravchuk goes back to pick it up. Shadowed by Sean Bure. Bure going after his man. Puts the check on him, but not before he gets the pass away. The Canadians getting it up to Bure. Bure gets around one check from Gusarov and fires it into the zone. Gilmore for Canada. Taken out of the play, but the Canadians keep it in with Sean Bure. No one in front to pick it up. Coming back now, the Soviets. The shot, not a difficult one from Davidov. And Coffee for Canada comes up. Paul Coffee to the far side to Sutter. Sutter takes the shot. Just wide of the far post. Possibly hit Archer Irbe's pads. I really don't think he saw that one. Craven trying to get the stick on that. Malakhov goes back first and gets it. Drops it off to Makarov. Off the boards, not a good pass by him. Intercepted by Craven. His backhand pass goes out into the neutral zone and Coffee will pick it up.
You can see the change, how quickly they are for both teams. Fresh legs on that ice. They're changing again already. That's less than 30 seconds, and now Yzerman has jumped on.
Coffee got that one forward. Adams looking to pick it up, and he can't get the stick on it. He reached, eventually smashed into the boards by Konstantinov. Hristich along the boards for the Soviets. And Lidster has to go back. Makarov making a quick change on the boards. Canada. Both teams having their moments here in the third period. They really don't want to make a mistake and get caught out of position. The shot there from Bykov calls for a face-off. And you can see that Bykov really has been through the wars if you get a close look at the face. He really does get cut up on a regular basis.
A lot of players going with those visors now. The young players, of course, wear the full face mask. A lot of the older ones wearing visors to protect the eyes and that part of the face.
Kamensky's spun around. Bykov going after it. Bykov hammered out of the play. It goes all the way back to the defense. Fetisov. Fetisov takes an elbow in the face and is dropped. Khomutov picks it up. He's squeezed out of the play by Makun, but the Soviets still have it. Bykov. Kamensky now. Kamensky takes a shot. Canada in all sorts of trouble here. The Soviets really showing some classy stuff, despite the rough stuff from Canada. Makun got that one forward nicely. Yzerman dropped to the ice. Coming up to the 5-minute markers, Khomutov breaks for the net. Brought down, but the official, Olsen, waves that one off. McInnes to Adams. Adams for Canada, the long pass to the far side. Bellows trying to get that one out front. Fleury is there now. Fleury still looking for it as Semak picks it up. Semak. The long pass right at center. Green will get the touch and give it to Bure. Bure gives that one away. Tries to get it back, but the Canadians do right at the red line. Fleury getting it over. Fleury wants it, gets it back in the corner, but Gusarov will get there first. Oh, a nice little move by him. Soviets bringing it out slowly. A lot of changing on the fly. Kamensky. Offside is the call.
Teams are really changing fast. It's one good hard rush down the ice, come back and cover your wing, and then get off. You can see both teams doing it now.
Well, it must be a coach's dream to have 4 lines of this caliber, knowing that you can throw anyone on at any time and not have to worry.
Coach Tikhonov for Russia, though, just never looks pleased no matter what's going on. They can be ahead by 10 goals, tied, winning the tournament. It doesn't matter. He always seems to be troubled by something going on that ice. He takes the game so serious.
Malakhov gets the pass away, takes a hit. Coffey had a stick up high on Byakin. Pavel Bure looking for someone to pass to. Still the youngster with a full face mask. Hands that one off. That comes right in front of the goal, and that will go into the neutral zone. Oh, good little move there by Bure as he slammed on the brakes. Coffey gives that one off, and Craven for Canada flips it into the zone. Craven goes after Konstantinov. The Soviets bringing that out now. Feodorov working right around, taken out of the play nicely, and the Canadians with Craven. Craven dropping back the shot. Coming from Tocchet. Craven picks it up now. Feodorov headmanning it into the Canadian half of the rink. Fetisov was taken out and quickly gets back into position as Adams picks it up at center. Adams trying to do it on his own. He's got help there. Adams now dumping that one into the corner, but Makarov will pick it up. Makarov takes a hit. Bellows flips it back in front. Yzerman takes the shot. Makarov picks it up and brings it out. The Soviets under a lot of pressure now from Canada. Yzerman along the boards, intended for Adams, but it didn't come off. Makarov looking for Hristich. That trickles out into the Soviet zone. Going after it is Gilmore for Canada. Fast is really an understatement. These guys going at full tilt. The shot, McLean got a piece of that. Hristich out there getting the woodwork on that one. Gilmore, you can see, or not Gilmore, Fleury rather, doing a lot of cross-checking, a lot of slashing. He's got to be careful with this guy Olsen. Gusarov takes a high shot right in the face from Sean Bure. The Canadians playing a physical third period. A long shot. Fleury getting a piece of that one. The Soviets now maintaining their composure. Kamensky goes after Craven. Craven tries to hug that one to the boards. Bykov is in there with Khomutov, the whole of the first line in that one corner. Most coaches would be yelling their heads off to get out of there and get back into position. These guys seem to know what they're doing.
The play is really fast out there, and both teams are really playing the body well. You can see Tocchet with a little slash on the pads there. These teams both want to win. A lot of intensity out there. Fleury was doing a good job earlier, hitting his man 1, 2, 3 times on the same play. That man happens to be his teammate during the regular season. Makarov and Fleury both play for the Calgary Flames.
Khomutov, Bykov, and Kamensky still out there for the Soviets. Sutter trying to win this one for Canada. McLean handles that one easily. Waits for another face-off.
He'll take the face-off there. Khomutov was well smothered by Coffey in front of the goal. The shot was into the mid-area. Just hang on to it and take the face-off. Nothing wrong with that.
It's all about picking up your man now, playing your position. McLean lets that one trickle by. Coffey for Canada picks it up, tips it forward. Tocchet stumbled on that one. Oh, a nice move by Bykov as he gets it over. The slap shot coming off Khomutov. Kamensky and Khomutov got that shot away. Bykov being taken out of the play by Sutter. Sutter gets it over to Craven. Craven now working down. Craven being checked on the play by Khomutov and Malakhov. Craven flips it back in. There's going to be a penalty on the play. You can see the goalie for the Soviets out. They're throwing on an extra attacker. The penalty going against Canada. The shot just didn't come from Bykov. He fanned on that one completely. Still, the delayed penalty on the play. You can see the official's arm is up in the air. An extra attacker on as Fetisov winds up, takes the shot. Canada touch it with Tocchet. And the penalty is called. Tocchet shaking his head.
Tocchet and Craven doing a good job of forechecking here. That's Tocchet who's behind Konstantinov. Spins him around with a hook. Had the stick right up under the arm of Konstantinov. That'll cost him 2 for hooking.
3-2 the score for Canada here in the third period. But now the Soviets have a man advantage. It's been close throughout. The Canadians started off in the first period with Sutter. Hristich and Tatarinov replied in the second. For the Soviets, Yzerman and Fleury came back for the Canadians. No translation needed there.
You can see Fetisov out there with his New Jersey Devil gloves on, putting a hand on Olsen, wants to know what's going on here. The Canadians feel that Olsen's had some pretty much pee-wee calls out there, basically. They keep referring to don't come to the NHL, Olsen, or whatever. Not happy with some of his calls.
Well, they look at things differently. We're not saying it's worse. We're not saying it's better. It certainly is different. The Canadians get that one out. Acton goes after him. Acton has been used primarily to kill off penalties. The shot right on the goal. Makarov getting that one right to McLean's doorstep. The Canadian goalie had no problem with that. Makarov there coming off an 80-game schedule, plus friendlies, plus playoff play, looking fresh, looking fit for this tournament.
Makarov had a good season with Calgary. The main criticism at the beginning of the season was that they hadn't settled in well. The Soviets settled in well. A lot of it was due to the traveling. Once they got used to that, they were far better off during the rest of the season.
Tatarinov goes deep, brings it out, gets it up on the wing to Hristich. Davidov. Makarov is spun around. McInnes will get a hold of that and shoot it away. Canadians looking for a change, as are the Soviets. They throw on their first line, at least part of it, with Bykov. Yzerman out there for Canada. Bykov getting it back to the point. The shot, the save is there. Bykov goes in against Green. Davidov back to Bykov. Bykov taking his time, trying to set this one up, waiting for the opportunity to get the shot away. Makarov takes the shot right in front. The man was there, Davidov. The net was open. The Canadians get it as far as the top of the circle. There's a man right in front. McLean goes down. Makarov pushed off the play and eventually dumped to the ice as the Canadians clear it out. Fetisov, 15 seconds. Some good forechecking there from Sutter right on the red line as Makarov gets it up. Well, that hit a skate. He has to try to do it again. He's taken out of the play and he comes over to the bench for a rest. The Canadians back at full strength. Tocchet back on the ice and the Canadians break now. The race is on. McCoon skating towards the net, goes away. Sutter in the corner with Tocchet. As far as the blue line, the Canadians keep it in. This one goes all the way down. The race is on. The Canadians touch it first as Khomutov was racing right in there. A little physical after the whistle, but nothing too serious. There's the scoreline here in the third period. 3-2 for Canada over the Soviet Union. It's been a good game. Some great action at both ends. Some lovely hits from both teams. And this excellent crowd in Bern, Switzerland, really appreciating this one. I really do think that the Canadian supporters outnumber the Soviets. Yzerman now in the circle, pushed all the way back to Gusarov and Kravchuk. Coffey got that one away, but the Soviets bringing it up now.
Nemchinov was cruising around the front of that goal. McLean had a little bit of trouble trying to drop it at first. Mishandled it, decided to hang on.
McLean at times has been criticized in the tournament for making a great save but then letting in the soft one. But he's looked sharp today. Coffey. Still Coffey. On the backhand side, flips it right in front. Adams is there, right in front of the net now. They take the shot. Yzerman, penalty on the play.
You see Steve Yzerman skating circles out there. The play is ended. He's still wandering around. There he is, right in the slot, all by himself. How many times out of 5 would he miss these? I wouldn't bet on that. Put it right over the top of the goal.
Der Spieler Nummer 21 der Sowjetunion, Alexander Semak, hat 2 Strafminuten für Haken.
Good shot there. That's how the goalie would have seen that coming. Looking for that corner upstairs, but it just didn't come off. Semak is in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Canadians putting on the pressure in front of the net. Semak just a bit too aggressive. And now the Soviets, a man down. Feodorov doing a great job there. Given off now to Iserman. Iserman to Adams. Adams brings it over. Looking for Bellows in the corner. Bellows couldn't get there in time. And that shot down to the neutral zone as Gusarov takes a hit along the boards. Bellows picks it up and goes in the opposite direction. Byakin takes his man out. Adams golfs it around to the far side. Bellows is behind the net, calling for it. Iserman is squeezed out of the play. Takes the slash, and the Soviets come back. 2-on-2. Feodorov takes the shot. Goes way up, and we'll have another face-off in Canadian territory.
Soviets doing a good job of playing the body. A couple of good hits right around the blue line and in the neutral ice area. Kept the Canadians from keeping that flow moving and being able to control the puck in the Soviet zone.
McCoon out there with Michel Petit on defense for Canada. 3-2 the score as we approach the 14-minute mark. 1:11 remaining in the penalty to the Soviet Union. Makarov took a swipe at that, beaten to it by Michel Petit. Petit tried to flip that in on the backhand. Took a deflection. McCoon will have to go back for it. Under a minute now on the penalty. The Canadians with a man advantage working out. Right in front. You could hear the Canadian yelling Gill, meaning Gilmore. Fleury skating in front of the net. Petit doing some rough stuff along the boards. Putting the grab on his man there.
You can clearly see Michel Petit as the puck is by the two players, putting the grab on the Soviet forward. On the left side of your screen, you see the referee's arm in the air. Michel Petit, 2 minutes for holding.
Well, that's what Petit thinks of that call. But it really did look like holding. Lidster is telling the official there's something on the ice. Give them a chance for a little rest here as Tocchet gives instructions to Gilmore. Canadians trying to work out where to go. Coffey knows where he wants to be. Lidster for Canada. Lidster being shadowed by two Soviet players. Coffey. The pass up to Gilmore. Tocchet is out there with him. Flip to the far side. Makarov got that over the blue line, but the Canadians now bring it out. Tocchet has got Lidster. Tocchet skates right by it, and the Soviets pick it up. 6 seconds on the Soviet penalty. 1:27 now on the Canadian penalty. Less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Canadians are leading 3-2.
Both teams want fresh personnel out there. You can see the official of some kind for this tournament putting an ice pack on the back of his head. The puck flipped over the boards. He forgot he didn't have a helmet on back there and really didn't get out of the way quick enough.
Well, you think it's tough on the ice. You should stand beside the boards and watch a game at this level, or at any level for that matter. You really do have to be aware of where that puck is at all times. Cameramen who stand right next to the boards usually wear a helmet. The face-off just inside the Canadian zone. The official telling the Canadian center he has to get out of there. Let someone else do the job. Bykov. Acton took a swipe at his man, and the Canadians get it down the ice. Coming up to 1:10 on the penalty. to Canada. Power play situation for the Soviet Union as they flip it all the way in. Cleared out by McCoon. Some good stuff from him on defense. Acton seeing a regular shift out there as a penalty killer. The Soviets with Kamensky. Kamensky, the crowd calling for the offside. The linesman didn't call it, but you can see the referee had to make the call. That's rare, but from time to time, he does make a call like that, and Kamensky is not happy.
The referee is in charge out there, and he clearly saw that one. Here's Kamensky coming up to the blue line. Watch the player on his left. As the puck gets to the blue line, the skate is just over. He may possibly have had that straddled from Olsen's view. He says no, and he overruled the linesman and made the offsides call.
Feodorov gets it back to the defense, to Malakhov. He likes to let go of that long shot. McLean flips that behind the net. Canadians with Lidster. Lidster stealing the puck back off of Feodorov. Lidster shoots that along the boards, but only as far as the defense and Konstantinov. This time it goes out. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the game, 20 seconds on the penalty. The Canadians getting a great round of applause as Lidster shoots it down for their efforts to kill this one off. The whistle blows and Green says why.
Green's ready to put the black and white shirt on himself here. Once again, the officials maybe a bit nervous. Of course, they've got a lot of pressure as well. The face-off is going to be corrected here. It obviously isn't an icing call with a man in the box. The face-off will come to center ice.
Well, it's nice to see that the officials acknowledge their mistake. Konstantinov talking to the youngster Bure, telling him where he wants to be. 6 seconds now still remaining on that penalty. The Canadians successfully killing off another one. Back at full strength, back into the game. Oh, good interception right there at the blue line. The shot. That one came off the metalwork. Some good stuff from Canada. Adams goes after his man. Feodorov turns, tries to get away with it. Shoots it behind the net. Konstantinov to the far side. The Canadians missing so many chances in this one. Yzerman with another one on that play. Pavel Bure gets that one forward. A nice little break. The Soviets score! Pavel Bure set that one up. Feodorov was in there. McLean was beaten cleanly.
How quickly the tale can change here. Canadians successfully kill off the power play situation for the Soviets. They have a great chance with Yzerman. He hits a post. Pavel Bure, the young forward, moves the puck up to Feodorov. He makes no mistake with a big shot. There you see, nice head-manning pass from Bure. Fedorov's got to step on everybody. Takes his time, big wind-up, puts it by McLean on the left side.
The goal scored, taking a breather on the bench. The Canadians slightly caught out of position on that one, allowing Feodorov to go in on the left wing. Tatarinov got that one off. Nemchinov skates against Lidster. Lidster squeezes that one along the boards out into center ice. So this is going to be a great finish here. 3 goals apiece. Going against the run of play there, the Soviets leveled the score. A long pass down along the boards in Coffey. Coffey to Craven. Tipped into the neutral zone to Tatarinov. Fetisov. Long pass. The Canadians will take that and bring it back in with less than 2 minutes. Yzerman loses control of that. Makarov slowly bringing it out. Still Makarov. Feeding his man on the left side. Some nice stuff from the Soviets. That's right out front. Makarov is there and it bobbles away. Hristich got it right back to him. The shot now coming from the defense. The Soviets putting on the pressure with less than 2 minutes. Davidov, Makarov goes after his man, and that goes all the way down the ice. The Canadians with Adams will go after it. Adams touches it. That's waved off. Held against the boards. And a great round of applause here for both teams as they give 100% right to the final whistle.
This is just the kind of battle that everybody predicted it would be. Two of the best teams end-to-end going head-to-head here in a draw very late in the game.
Personal pride, national pride at stake here. No one wants to lose. (3-3) the score. They really are taking a lot of time on these face-offs, making sure they get it right. The Canadians moving Green right up to the top of the circle. Green picks it up, takes a shot. That hit escape. Bure takes it backhand, and Irbe makes the save. The Soviets bringing it out slowly on the right wing. Bykov, Khomutov. A nice defensive move there by Green to lay down the stick. Still along the boards. You can see Adams standing up along the bench to see what was going on. And there's going to be a penalty on the play here. Sean Bure goes over to the penalty box for Canada.
You can see the play getting rough along the boards here. The hit from behind, the player goes head first into the boards right in front of the Canadian bench. Bure will sit too. Not the good time to take a penalty here.
Well, it takes a brave referee to call a penalty at this stage, at this level. The score tied, 3 goals apiece. 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in the game. That could be the deciding factor. I'm not saying you let these things go, but as I said before, you look at them twice. The Soviets with the man advantage, getting it over to Bykov. Bykov will try to set this one up. 45 seconds now to go. All they need is one shot. Canadians putting on a bit of pressure. That's tipped away nicely by the Canadians down the ice. Malakhov couldn't keep that one in. Irbe comes way out and gives it to Konstantinov. 30 seconds to go. Some good stuff here by the Soviets as they keep it in the zone, but they still have to get the shot away. Konstantinov is grabbed by Tokic. Less than 20 seconds. The Canadians have it along the boards. Green is there. Konstantinov wants to take a shot. Tokic gets on him right in front. All the way back to the zone. Konstantinov will try to get a shot here. No, he puts it into the corner. Still no shot coming. 1 second. There goes the buzzer. And the Canadians hold on under pressure. 3-3 is the final score.
A great finish. The Soviets all over that end. Couldn't put one away. They had one opportunity. Britt Green with some good work in the corner for the Canadians. They come out of it with a draw. Still undefeated in this tournament, the Canadian team.
Sutter, Yzerman, and Fleury for Canada. Hristich, Tatarinov, and Feodorov with that late goal for the Soviet Union.
A gutsy performance from the Soviets, who are so used to being in the lead in most games. They fought back and really got themselves into this one.
Both teams played well on the power play. They played really well when they were shorthanded.
It was a good game from all accounts. Power play, shorthanded, any situation. This was entertaining ice hockey.
Some excellent goaltending coming from Arthur Irbe and Kurt McLean for the Canadians. The teams now lining up to accept their awards and the man of the match presentations. They really did play their hearts out right to the final whistle.
The spectators were really treated with a good one here.
A capacity crowd here in Bern, Switzerland enjoyed that one. Group A standings, the Canadians ended up with 13 points, the Soviets with 11, the Swedes with 10, the Czechs were down in 4th. Those 4 will battle out for the medals USA, Finland, Norway, and West Germany will fight to avoid relegation.
Everything's important, whether it's first or 8. Nobody wants to go down, and everybody wants to be number 1.
Well, we know that Switzerland are already on their way up from Pool B, so it remains to be seen who will go down. Will it be West Germany? Will it be Norway? Coming up tonight, Czechoslovakia against Sweden. That's going to be a good one. 10:25 UK time, 11:25 European time.
Another battle of teams that want a medal.
Well, until this evening, when we have more ice hockey from Richard Beaupre and myself, Paul Ferguson, bye for now.